My name is Carrie Mays, and for the past 5 years, I've been a youth activist in the city of Boston. Many know me from the social justice community work I've done, where I've organized Black Lives Matter protests, spoke at national institutions across the country, addressing racism, system inequalities, and youth civic engagement. I mean, I can go on about the work that I do and how much I love my community, but one thing I do not love is the abusive domestic relationship I'm in with America as a Black woman, specifically in Boston, too. Our criminal justice system here is beyond flawed, institutionally rigged, and plagued by crooked cops. So it is no surprise that police brutality does exist here in Boston. It is no surprise that hyper policing occurs in predominantly Black and brown neighborhoods like Dorchester, Mattapan, Roxbury, and Hyde Park. And most of all, it is no surprise that the Boston police actually made national headlines with that viral video of them showcasing mob mentality behavior, where they inappropriately antagonized, abused, and made fun of pepper spraying innocent protesters at the George Floyd protest downtown. When we say that racism is a state of emergency, police brutality, code of misconduct, and violating a civilian's right should belong under that category. It goes hand in hand, and there is no ignoring it. However, while many were surprised and disgusted by that mob mentality video, which took place downtown, I was not. Because that video of how those cops treated those protesters is just a glimpse of what Black and brown youth like me face in the hood every day. From being slammed on the concrete because you fit the description to randomly being asked questions while your information is being collected without your consent. Discriminatory racism is an ongoing phenomenon and never-ending story for youth like me who are constantly chilling outside with our friends and bound to run into the feds. Now, I can tell you about our criminal justice system. I am the oldest daughter of two formerly incarcerated parents. Both my mother and father have gone to jail. As a child, I saw my mother be wrongly accused and criminalized by law enforcement. They manhandled my pregnant mother and put handcuffs on her right in my face. Fast forwarding to my teenage years, I also saw my father wrongly accused and locked up for a crime he did not do. They took him away from me in my face while I was screaming, begging, and choking on tears. Yet I still had to go to school the next day like nothing happened. I can tell you how psychologically sick our criminal justice system is because in both instances, I was never offered trauma support services or resources. And most times we as Black kids who go through that don't. We never do. So we remain the silent victims to white supremacy's violence accompanied by the police. It took me until I got older to understand that what I went through was violence. In December of 2018, I had a traumatic experience with the Boston police that changed my view on them and shattered my trust with them forever. I had never seen a gun before, let alone seen one pointed at my face. Do you know what it feels like to look death in the eye, with the Grim Reaper staring at your soul? On the day before my 18th birthday, 5 officers pulled the gun out on me, my mom, and grandmother in our own driveway. They held us at gunpoint out of quote unquote mistaken identity. 3 generations of Black women looking down the barrel of a gun. Completely skipping all the proper police protocols. They never even asked for our names, no ID to step out the car or even search the car. Just guns automatically aimed at our faces. Just a hands up, and we said don't shoot. We were pulling into the driveway from my godmother's funeral when they ambushed us, and I thought it was about to turn into another one, but instead my funeral. With their fingers trembling on the trigger, all I could see was hallucinations of blood splattered everywhere and visions of a triple murder homicide covered up by the police. I thought to myself, if I was to die right now, nobody would know my story. If he blows that bullet through my grandmother's brain right now, the world may never know about it. And if they take the woman who gave me birth, life would not be worth living. After they realized they got the wrong people, they slowly put the guns down and left. That night was a violation of my rights. Not just my rights, but also my mother and my grandmother's rights. They failed to follow protocol and trespassed our property. I thought they were going to kill us. I thought I wasn't going to make it to 18. However, I feel as if the worst part of it all is that those same officers are still out there patrolling our communities with no accountability. I came close to being a Breonna Taylor, a Sandra Bland in Boston. That is unacceptable. As a city, we must do better and include youth like me in the conversation because as Ayanna Presley said, the people closest to the pain should be closest to the power. Once again, my name is Carrie Mays and I approve this message. If there are any questions, I will be glad to answer. Thank you.